think you should, yeah.
So part of me doesn't really know how to feel about this newest episode of Boruto. Part of me really enjoyed it because watching Boruto and Shikadai fight in the Chunin exams was honestly really interesting. Or rather, it was just a good-looking fight in general. But that doesn't really change the fact about how I feel about the other half of the fucking episode. Because the entire first half of the episode that leads into the second half is the entire fight of Shinki versus Cho-Cho. And Cho-Cho is literally the least interesting character out of all the new genin of this generation. You know, characters like Sarada, Shikadai, Inojin, Mitsuki, all of them, you know. Cho-Cho is literally the least interesting character out of all of them. Because she's just really annoying and not really, you know, when people look at characters and shows, they want to look for a character that's relatable to them. I don't really see anyone relating to Cho-Cho. She's just a girl who's very full of herself that eats a lot because she's like her dad. And then that's pretty much it. So the entire fight that she has with Shinki, he doesn't move like at all, besides using like his metal sand, or his iron sand, I guess that's what it is. But he's literally just using that, like his sand cloak, his iron sand cloak, the entire time, just to be able to like dodge her attacks, which is like particle expansion jutsu. And then in the fight, she actually does the human boulder jutsu, which, you know, she says she hates using the jutsu, but then you figure out the reason why she hates it, and it's because it ends up making her fat. And I'm just like, dude, that's so lame. Just use the fucking jutsu. It's better than everything else that you have in your arsenal. So who fucking cares, dude? Like, so literally the entire first half of the fight is all just Cho-Cho and Shinki fighting each other. And the one thing I will say that I actually, you know, enjoyed about the first half of the episode is we get a little bit more exposition about Shinki as a character and the reason why Gaara, you know, adopted him as a son. And it goes into a flashback, and Gaara is talking about, you know, whatever, right? And they're in a sand village, obviously. And then some weird sandstorm is happening right there in the middle of the village. And obviously Gaara, as the Kazekage, is investigating it. And then he sees that it's a boy who's creating this metal sandstorm. And it's completely out of control. And for some reason, the kid just looked really angry for some reason. Like, remember how Gaara used to look like when he was, like, mad in part 1? It was kind of like that, and it was really weird. It reminded me a lot of how Gaara used to be in part 1. He had this weird, evil, sinister look in his eyes, and then all of a sudden, someone showed, you know, careness for them, and then he ended up calming down. And then it was then after Gaara adopted him as a son, and he started training him on how to actually use his jutsu a lot more properly. And then that's basically the reason why he's actually ridiculously powerful. So Cho-Cho, she seems to be doing fine, I guess. And then she pulls out the human boulder, and then she basically just uses way too much chakra, and then she just loses. She passes out and she loses. That's basically the entirety of the fight. She uses a couple of jutsu, she runs out of chakra, and then she passes out. That's it. She's fine. And then I guess they have like a comedic relief moment where Choji, the entire fight, Choji is like rooting her on and saying a whole bunch of fucking stupid shit. And then Cho-Cho's there in like a locker room, I guess. And then she's like, "Oh, Shinki is a pretty handsome dude." And I'm like, dog, did they really have to have her fucking say some stupid shit like that? And then Choji has like some stupid reaction to it. So it was a really boring first half, and I fucking hated it. The beginning of the second half is, you know, the setup for Shikadai and Boruto fighting in the Chunin exams. And the entire time, Boruto's debating whether or not he wants to use the ninja tool or not, as he has been this entirety of the Chunin exams. And it seems at first he's not going to use it, but if you already saw the movie, then you already know what's going to happen. But it's actually going to happen a little bit differently, and I'll explain in a second. So him and Shikadai, they're saying they're going to have a fair fight, and no matter what, whoever wins, the other isn't going to complain, etc., etc. Boruto ends up taking the ninja tool with him. They start fighting, and it looks like a good fight for a little while, and then Shikadai starts using his shadow paralysis jutsu. And Boruto is the entirety of the time he's dodging the shadow paralysis jutsu, and he's using his shadow clones to also help out with that. And then Boruto gets right behind him, and he starts going in for an attack. And then for some odd reason, he stops. And then it's revealed that he was training with his dad to come up with a plan to be able to stop Boruto in his tracks, along with his shadow clone. And basically, he just stretched out like the entirety of his whole shadow, and like one full circle, which got all the shadow clones stopped in place. But of course, because Boruto has to use the ninja tool for some stupid reason, he ends up using the ninja tool, creates a shadow clone from it, and then that basically wins him the match, and Shikadai loses. So he loses. The guy who creates the ninja tool gives him another scroll, which I'm not really sure what it is, but you know, it's really weird because they did a lot differently from the movie. In the movie, what happens is that Boruto uses the ninja tool like he does in the anime, but he creates a whole bunch more of shadow clones, more than he normally could for some reason, right? And then Naruto points out the fact that he's wearing something on his wrist. Hinata uses her Byakugan to see what he's wearing on his right wrist, his right arm, and then therefore the whole plot of the whole entirety of this arc continues on with the movie. But for some reason, Naruto doesn't do that, and the whole Chunin exam just continues on as if it would normally for some reason. I don't know why they kind of did it like the way they did. If anything, it kind of pisses me off more that Boruto had to resort to using a ninja tool, and why he couldn't just accept the loss. Because if anything, I feel like that would have further progressed his character. And it's like, Shikadai, no matter who he fought anyways, that would have still progressed his character anyways, because, the whole entirety of the Ina-Shikito trio, or the new generation of it, they all understand, like, the whole point of loss, and they understand it, but they go past it, and, they don't really care about that, because they still had a learning experience, and, they're stronger because of it. And then Boruto isn't really stronger because of it, because he cheated. He cheated by using an unfair advantage, and it's just like, fucking why? And then, So that's pretty much it. The entirety of the episode, the first half, was really boring and unnecessary. It was stretched out for unnecessary reasons. It was really unentertaining. And then the second half was so short that I couldn't enjoy what the fuck was actually going on in the first place. So the episode for me is really conflicting, because I don't know if I like or dislike it. I guess it's not entirely the worst episode I've ever seen, because there are definitely worse episodes in this series, but it wasn't that great to watch either. So I think without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, and then if you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.